It is I, Chris Biffle, Coach B, coming at you with another Whole Brain Teaching broadcast. Here we are. It is May 29th. I'm getting my screen set up, and this is the broadcast you have been waiting for. This is on Power Pix. 300 freebies were given away tonight. And yes, we are on. Here's the screen. Look at it right there. Whole Brain Teaching, Power Pix. I'm Chris Biffle, representing as well as I can wholebrainteaching.com. Let's look at our... Oh, who is this? It's Biffy Bluebird and his brother Bobby Bluebird. What if someone wants a copy of these slides or professional development credit? Asked Biffy Bluebird. Biffy, good to have you online. Thanks, Coach. It's always good to see you. Easy breezy. Details are at the end of the program. Bobby Bluebird, I don't want you to think I'm playing favorites. You and Biffy are two of my all-time favorite Bluebirds. Why, thank you, Coach. You're one of our favorite all-time non-Bluebirds. Oh, Bobby, you are so stitch. That's a good thing, Bobby. Now, my friends, here we are with Whole Brain Teaching certification. Every broadcast from here forward will have a certification task. Let's just talk about the wonders of certification. I'm coming right at you to talk about certification. Yes, you can become a Whole Brain Teaching certified instructor. Not just a normal certification, a Whole Brain Teaching board certified instructor. Now, if you're interested, we'll show you the PDF tonight where you can find out more about it. But the basic idea is this. Go at your own pace. Design your own certification. And it's free. How do you like that so far? Yes, my friends. So one thing you can do for certification is answer questions, 250 words minimum, about the webcasts. Here's tonight's certification question. What are the strengths and weaknesses of the WBT Power Pix? If significant weaknesses exist, how can the program be improved? How could Power Pix be used to increase students' critical thinking skills? Please pay attention to that third question. How could Power Pix be used to increase students' critical thinking skills? You'll find out about Power Pix in a second. Now, post your answer on the forum at wholebrainteaching.com under the topic WBT Certification Webcast, WBT Power Pix. I'll create that topic at the end of the broadcast. Do a good job, we'll give you 50 certification points. Do an incredible job, you could get 25 bonus certification points, and my friends, far more exciting, you can get some of these groovy Whole Brain Teaching medallions to represent your remarkable progress and ability. All right, my friends, let's get started. Here's one of our favorite guests, JJ Jive. JJ, what's jiving? Oh, you know me, Coach B. I'm always jiving. I'm the JJ Jive Man. Ah, JJ, good to have you on our program tonight. Well, Coach, what's the scamma jamma on Power Pix? JJ, you're always asking the right questions. I'm not pure jive, Coach. I'm a teacher, too. All right, here we go. Now, let's talk about Power Pix. Here's Bobby Bluebird and Biffy Bluebird. Pix are free downloads at wholebrainteaching.com that teach core knowledge. Many state standards and Common Core concepts are represented by Power Pix. Let's just stop there. Anybody out there teaching Common Core or state standards and having a little bit of a challenge doing it? You know, in kindergarten, there's probably 75 standards we need to teach. And it just gets bigger and more wonderfully challenged as you move up to first, second, third, and fourth grade. Now, we asked ourselves at Whole Brain Teaching, how could we simplify this daunting task of teaching all of these things? And I, as a college instructor, I must say, one of my problems is that I teach some stuff, and maybe I did a pretty good job of it. And then 2 weeks would go by, and I say, well, you remember what I taught you about Aristotle? No, they didn't remember, even though I'd done a pretty good job of it. So a real problem in education is you've got to move that train on down the tracks, lickety, lickety, lickety split. That's how a train sounds in education. Lickety, lickety, lickety split. I just made that one up. Would you give me a 10-finger woo? Got to move the train down the tracks, and you're barreling ahead, and kids got to find out not only where they are, but where they've been. Power Pix really help you with that problem. Here we go. Here's our friend, Biffy Bluebird, and he says, an especially cool feature. Oh, my friends, I better show Biffy Bluebird. You might have discovered the secret of where Biffy Bluebird resides, which is inside Coach B's feverish skull. An especially powerful, cool feature of Power Pix is that they use visual and motor cues to teach abstract concepts. Wow, Biffy. Thank you so much for that. You're welcome, Coach. Well, here's another guest, another one of our guests, and she says, raising the pertinent question, how about showing us a few of those marvelous Power Pix? Well, my teaching friend, I will do that. Here are some marvelous Power Pix for you all. First, I'm going to start with kindergarten. This is the cover of the free download at wholebrainteaching.com. At the end of the show, I will show you exactly where to go on the website. Here is a little small Power Pix. I'm going to just bring in the screen a little bit so that you can get a close-up of some of these features. Just going right up here. Now, the Power Pix has color syllabification. I'm always worried when I try to say syllabification. It shows a picture, and this is a Power Pix for author. And in the kindergarten ones, these were beginning ones, we had a definition for each one and a gesture. The blue border signifies language arts. A red border signifies math. So, we teach the kids, an author writes the words of a book, story, or poem. And we make that gesture. I'll make it again. An author writes the words of a book, story, or poem. Once we've got that, we've got the concept. We've got the definition. We've got the gesture. We have the oral repetition and the oral reception. We got the pretty big chunks of the brain going on right then. So then what you can do is you say, show me the gesture for author. Here's the definition. A blank writes the words of a book, story, or poem. What's that? Here's the gesture. Tell me what it represents. There's the picture. Tell your neighbors about it. Multiple ways, multiple dimensions of repetition. We said on the pre-broadcast that all we do at school is teach. We could have also said all we do at school is repeat. So the more ways you have to repeat, the more brain areas you're getting involved, the more locations for memory. Let me just stop right here. Glasses coming off. This is going to shock you, my friends. I hardly ever mention it, but pay close attention to me. There is no memory area in the brain. Give me a what? No. There's no single area of the brain devoted to memory. Visual memories are stored in the visual cortex. Auditory memories are stored in the auditory cortex. Motor memories are stored in the motor cortex. So if you can get one concept in multiple locations, you're teaching and learning with your whole brain. Tell that to your science-based friends. You know what? There's no memory area in the brain. There are memory areas. That's an important point. Let me adjust my screen here. I'm ready to move on to more information about these amazing, amazing Power Pix. Here's a Power Pix full size. Now, notice this, my friends. Little white letters at the bottom you might not be able to read gives us the definition. An author writes the words of a book, story, or poem. So, you've got everything you need right on the front. We have the California State Standards on there. Those standards are not going to last. We're going to Common Core standards. But here's the deal. Common Core standards are based upon what every kid needs to know. And California, though we have problems, we got some pretty good standards. Now let's just look at a few of these. Yes, there are Power Pix for kindergarten, first, second, and third grade, and we'll tell you how to get them for higher grades as well. We even got a Power Pix for black. Question is, what is black? The answer is a tire is black. And here's the gesture. What is black? A tire is black. So in the lower grades, we want to start not with universal answers, the 50 things that are black. Start with specific, concrete things, and then build up to your generalizations. We didn't say the only things that are black are tires, but a tire is black. Can you tell your neighbor some other things that are black? And use the tire gesture, even though there's some other things that are black that are not tires. Here's another one, my friends. We're going to go through the kindergarten ones, and then we're jumping to third grade. Capital letter. Notice the color syllabification. This is a cat. I like dogs. Is this a mouse? Our question is, what is a capital letter? The answer is, a capital letter is an uppercase letter. And then, of course, we have a Power Pix for uppercase letters. Every sentence must begin with a capital letter. What could our gesture be for capital letters? Well, it's an uppercase letter. There's our gesture. So part of the power of Power Pix that we're hearing from teachers across the country is it's hard to think of the stinking gestures. My friends, let me do it for you. I'll think of the stinking gestures. And if you got better ones, let us know in the forum. If you're having problems coming up with gestures, we have a place at wholebrainteaching.com where you can plead with your colleagues for help. Yes, my friends, you will find that higher grades need this stuff too. How about characters? What is a character? A character? Characters are people, animals, or even things in a story. What could be our gesture? The thing about gestures is each one has to be unique. If you have two gestures that are the same, it messes up the brain. So this is our gesture for characters, see? These are characters. They're people, animal, or even things in a story. And if you get stumped for gestures, just ask your kid. Let's go through a few more of these, my friends. How do you remember all the gestures? Hey, that's a great question. Blizzard, how do you remember all the concepts is a better question. First of all, in the upper grades on the Power Pix, we print the gestures right there. But you will be stunned at the mind's ability to remember gestures. Watch this. Fraction, numerator, denominator. A verb is an action word. A pronoun takes the place of a noun. A noun is a person, place, or thing. Now think about it. What was a fraction? Show me numerator, show me denominator, show me verb, show me pronoun, show me noun. That's like 10 or 15 seconds. The brain is a sponge for motor memory. Motor memory, which is right up here, which controls motion, is the brain's most powerful memory area. It's automatic knowledge. You don't have to think when you're typing, where's that letter once you know. You don't have to think, how do you drive? You don't have to think, how do you eat? You don't have to think how to move your mouth and your tongue. You don't have to think how to walk, how to put on your clothes, how to brush the dog. Motor memory, incredibly powerful. Put concepts in motor memory, and you'll be stunned at the amount that kids can learn. Let's look at a couple more of these kindergarten ones. Illustrator. An illustrator draws the pictures in a book, story, or poem. An illustrator, you see, is sort of like a painter. So here I have my colors right here, and I'm painting an illustrator. See? Have to make it different than an author, because authors and illustrators are not the same thing. Let's do another one, sorting. I bet you that just coming up with a definition of sorting is a pretty good intellectual challenge. Think about it. We tell kids about sorting all the time. It's a fundamental intellectual exercise. How do we define sorting? Sorting is putting things together that are similar. That's what sorting is. So every Power Pix has a question, an answer, a gesture, color silhouettification, and a picture. What's the gesture for sorting? Easy. I got some cards here. I'm sorting them into red and black. Red and black. Sorting. Now, here, I hope you're sitting down, because I don't want to be having people filing lawsuits because they fell over in an ecstatic faint. But every single Power Pix has a lesson attached to it. Give me a whoa! So here's the lesson. Sorting. Question, what's sorting? Then there's the answer. Sorting is putting things together that are similar. Then the gesture. Then teaching suggestions. Then a way to do evaluation. So hundreds of these, every one with a lesson plan that tells you how to teach it. Arlie, good to have you online. Arlie, you've been making remarkable progress. You're another one of our young superstars. Hope I'm not overstating the case there, Arlie, but I see real promise and potential in you, my friend. Now let's go to our math ones. So sorting is a language arts. Sorting is also a math. But notice I have two different kind of pictures here. Similar things. Oh, apples and two different kind of oranges. So double sorting Power Pix. Addition. What is addition? Addition is putting together. That's what addition is. If you have a better definition, use it. What are the days of the week? We've got days of the week in Literary Power Pix. I just don't have them online right now, but look them up. Addition, you know the sign for addition. Sign for addition has got to be like this. If you can see, make a little cross with your forearms. Let's go back to some more of these kindergarten Power Pix. Equal sign. The equal sign means the same as. Make an equal sign with your forearms. Equal numbers. Two birds, two birds. Equal numbers are the same numbers. Here's another version of the equal sign. Let's get at that important concept in a couple of different ways. Estimate. Yeah. I remember when I came to estimate, I said to myself, estimate, how do you define that? The thing is that what we strive to do is define each of these in kid-friendly language. That means you've got to take these new concepts and use existing language wherever possible. You could go to a more sophisticated language, but kids won't know what you're talking about yet. So what is an estimate? An estimate is a guess. There's my estimate gesture. How many kids do you estimate will be in line for tetherball? How many kids do you guess will be in line for tetherball? How many cards do you estimate are on the table? How many cards do you guess are on the table? Now, my friends, you could talk about a strong or weak estimate, a strong or a weak guess, but tie it to some stuff that they might already know. Let's go. Kate Boski, is that you? Delighted to have you online, Kate B3. Now let's hit it with our third grade stuff. Before I go to third grade, whole brain teaching Power Pix, kindergarten math and language arts, first grade math and language arts, second grade math and language arts, third grade math and language arts. And when you look at the third grade list, you will find material there they still need to know in high school. Are you with me? I think you are. Alphabetical order. That's a third grade concept that we still might not have mastered. Alphabetical order. Alphabetical order is ABC order. Now notice this. When you move, and I hope you're sitting down for this, when you move up to the first and second grade material, we have for you an amplified Power Pix in which I hope you can see this, my friends. Let me just zoom in a little bit. I'm zooming in. Just stay with me. I'm zooming in up here. Up here, in little white letters, we have the question, what is alphabetical order? The answer, alphabetical order is ABC order. And then someone asked tonight, well, what if you don't remember the gestures? Oh, my friends, right here at the bottom is the gesture written in faint white type so only the teacher can read it. The gesture for alphabetical order. Begin with your fist closed and use the following pattern as you speak. Alphabetical order is A, lift the thumb on the closed fist. B, lift the forefinger on the closed fist. C, lift the middle finger on the closed fist. Is ABC order. Now, let me enlarge my screen so I can show you what that looks like. Hang with me, my friends. Technology is wonderful when it works. Alphabetical order is A, B, C order. That's my gesture for alphabetical order. All right, now let us look at chronological order. Now you might say, my friends, where's the 4th grade, 5th grade, and 6th grade? Ask your middle school kids to tell you the difference between alphabetical and chronological order. What is chronological order? That's a good question. Chronological order is the order events happen in, first to last. And then in small white letters, you tap an imaginary watch on your wrist, symbolizing that chronological order is determined by time. Chronological order is the order events happen in, first to last. And you got the picture of chronological order, very different than the picture of alphabetical order, as they should be very different. But now they're different to your visual cortex. Oh, my friends, I think you're beginning to see the power and the glory. Here's days of the week rule. We can even have rules, not just concepts. Let's stop there. We don't just have concepts, we have rules. What is the days of the week rule? What is the months of the year rule? What is the names? What is the date rule? What is the places rule? Let's teach rules that involve other concepts. Oh, yeah. So the question is, what is the days of the week rule? The days of the week rule is the first letter of every day of the week must be capitalized. Now, the gesture. Here we go, the gesture. The days of the week rule is that the first letter of every day of the week must be capitalized. So I got 7 days of the week, we ought to capitalize each one of them. Far easy. Now, here's what's weird. Here's what's weird. The more you know about a subject, the easier it is to remember anything about that subject. Why? Because you've got memory and motor cortex, memory and visual cortex, memory here in the auditory cortex, speaking and listening, multiple memory locations, and they start to link up to each other. The brain likes to go on all 8 cylinders. Give me an, oh yeah, I'm sure. Here we are. Draft of a paper. You talk to your kids about the draft of a paper. I want you to do a draft of a paper. What's a draft? They never say that. They never say, what do you mean draft? How do you draft a paper? My friends, I'm taking off the glasses. Listen to me. Listen to me as I quote Shakespeare to you. Who would Fardels bear when he could his quietus make with a bare bodkin? That's Shakespeare. You know where it's from? The to be or not to be speech. Comes a little bit after to be or not to be. Who would Fardels bear when he could his quietus make with a bare bodkin? You know what that means? I imagine you might not, because you don't know what a fardel is. You don't know what a bodkin is. And you don't know what a quietus is. Who would Fardels, who would Troubles bear when he could his quietus death make with a naked dagger? That's what that means. But since you don't know about Fardels, bodkins, and quietus, boom, it went right over the top of your head. You talk to kids about paragraph, draft, pronoun, adjective. You're talking fardels, bodkins, and quietuses. Yeah! You like that, Shakespeare? Glasses back on, my friends. Let's look at the screen. Now, what is a draft of a paper? A draft of a paper is an unpolished final paper. It's a final paper ready to be polished. And then, of course, you can make a polishing gesture. Look at this. Look at the stinking lesson plan for draft of a paper. As we go up in grades, the lesson plans get even better. I'm just going to tell you about every lesson plan. Look at me. Every lesson plan from about the first grade up uses the 5-step teaching template. You ask a question. What's a draft of a paper? You give an answer. A draft of a paper is an unpolished final paper. Then we have some teaching suggestions about how you teach the concept of a draft of a paper. Then you do your assessment. You play yes, no way. You ask some questions about a draft of a paper. If the answer is yes, they go yes. If the answer is no, they go no way. Kind of hard to think up these questions. We wrote them out for you. Okay, that's false modesty. We didn't write them out for you. The guy drinking a water slushie wrote them out for you, my friends. I'm going to stop here and listen to the digital applause. Oh, yeah. So, let's look at the lesson plan. And then you play cutie. Let's just talk about these two kinds of assessments. Yes, no way, and cutie, where we wrote them out for you. In yes, no way, the class responds as a whole. Yes, no way. Easy for kids who don't get it to pretend like they get it. The cutie, QT, quick test, cutie. You say cutie, they say cutie. Boom. They put their hands over their eyes, they put their heads down the desk, one or the other. You then make a statement. If the answer is true, they give you thumbs up. The answer is false, they give you thumbs down. You can tell at a glance if your kids get it or not, and the kids who don't get it don't even know that they don't get it. We say if you don't have 80 to 90% of your kids that can answer true, false questions about this material right after you've talked about it, it's time to think seriously about reteaching it. I hear about, I'm sorry, my friends. I hear about ticket out the door. Oh yeah, we do assessment, ticket out the door. You telling me that you can do an assessment on draft of a paper in which the kids are writing down what draft of a paper is, and their motivation is they can get out of the room? How good an assessment is that? They want to get out of the room. You got a prize that's way bigger than the task. With the QT and with the yes, no way, in 30 seconds to a minute, you can come at that concept in multiple different ways. And listen to this, my friends. Maybe you've got a lot of time. Maybe you're one of those weird teachers who doesn't sleep. But with the yes, no way and the cutie, you don't have to grade a paper. You get instant feedback. You know right then what to do. You don't have to wait till tonight to read the ticket out the door. That's what I think of ticket out the door. I hope I didn't offend anybody who would like to be my friend. If I did, I take it all back. Here we go. Let's look at another one. We got a little problem here. What's the ones place? What's the tens place? What's the hundreds place? What's the ones place? The first number on the right is the ones place. Now, you've got to think from your kid's point of view. Now, this is my left, this is their right. So the first number on the right is the ones place. Second number on the right, third number on the right. Teach them right and left. And then you can teach them all the way up to the 10,000s. Yes, I know, my friends. That ones, fives, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s is very tough. But if you have a Power Pix, you put it on the wall. Run it right up to 10,000s. Did we do thousands? Yes, you do need a binder. All right, my friends. Now, Bethany J., We do love the fact that you're online, and I bet you like blue. But Bethany J, we only have 2 colors. Red for our online gurus, and black for everybody else. Bar graph. What on earth is a bar graph? A bar graph compares numbers using bars. Duh! Put your 2 forearms straight up, one higher than the other. Here's the bar graph gesture. Watch me. There's the bar graph gesture. Decimal point. Oh my goodness. A decimal point divides whole numbers from fractions. Yeah, whole number, 1.1. 1.1, that's 1 1/10. Notice the simplification of the color coding for syllabification. I'm just using red and blue, showing kids where to put the syllables. Let's charge on with what else we got here. Here's a rule. What's the dividing by 0 rule? The dividing by 0 rule is dividing any number by 0 is impossible. What's the gesture for that? That's a pretty good one. Dividing by 0 rule is dividing any number by 0 is impossible. That's a high school concept, my friends, in a 3rd grade Power Pix. Gesture. Make a 0 with your fingers, then slash your arm through the air, making the division gesture. Finally, shrug your shoulders. So, 0, division, impossible. You see the sophistication already in the 3rd grade with these concepts. Now, I said, my friends, 300 freebies. I was probably underestimating. I'm just going to read you the freebies for kindergarten. Author, black, blue, capital letter, characters, colors, end mark, exclamation mark, front cover, fiction, green, illustrator, letters, lowercase alphabet, nonfiction, orange, period, purple, question mark, red, rhyming words, sentence, setting, sorting, spaces, syllables, table of contents, title, title page, uppercase alphabet, vowels, yellow, white, and word. That's just the language arts. Check it out. I'm going to sock you with the 3rd grade math Power Pix. Tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, rounding off rule, counting by hundreds, counting by thousands, expanded form. Multiplication checking rule, division checking rule, multiplication, division, multiplying by 0 rule, multiplying by 1 rule, dividing by 1 rule, dividing by 0 rule, unit cost, total cost, unit cost rule, big slice rule, little slices rule, less than, greater than rule, decimal point, 0.1, 0.5, 0.75, 1/2, 1/4, 1/3, and on and on and on. Have I made my point? 300 freebies. If you remember that every one of these pictures comes with a lesson plan. 300 freebies is a gross understatement, my friends. You know what? I need another shot of digital applause. Here you go, my friends. From my heart to your heart, let's help each other. I'm going to take a shot of a water slushie. All right. Now, here's our friend. Here's our friend. This is huge. Power Pix sound great, but how can I use them in class? Well, 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 well. Let me tell you. Here's how you use them in class. Pay attention. You make a grid, A, B, C, D, and 1, 2, 3. Obviously, your grid is going to have all the Power Pix. I just put draft of a paper up here over and over again. Then, with A, B, C, D, and 1, 2, 3, you can say, tell me all the gestures in row 3. Tell your neighbor all the definitions in column D. Tell your neighbor all of the questions in row 1 and 2. With your grid, And we can use this grid in kindergarten, can't we, Deb Weigel? With your grid, you can focus review. Now, you may have noticed, and I don't think Deb Weigel is hip to this, and she's hip to many, many things. So this is a remarkable statement. Budsley, I wonder, Budsley, are you using, Arlie, you're a kindergarten teacher. Budsley, you must use the grid. But Budsley and Deb, are you using it this way? Are you putting a star or something on the hardest to understand of your Power Pix? Those are the gnarlies. Those are the gnarlies, so you can then say to your kids, review the gnarlies, review the gnarly gestures, review the gnarly questions, review the gnarly answers. So with the gnarlies, you can highlight the concepts that you know your kids are going to have the most trouble with on the state test. Blue for language arts, red for math. Use the gnarlies. Same thing. Oh, Budsley, you use it in mind soccer. That's very, very, very good. Yes, my dear friend Budsley. Now, can we just stop for a second here? Yeah, we can, because it's just me talking. It's easy to stop. State standards, test time. Here's what you do. Review a lot, and wait a second, I made a mistake. Tell me it's cool. I made a big mistake. Tell me it's cool. Thank you. Here's the thing. I want to talk about critical thinking first. You get the Power Pix up there. Get the Power Pix up there, my friends, and then you can get into critical thinking. I want you to turn to your neighbor, and I want you to use a Power Pix in a sentence, the concept, with the because clapper. I need to write a draft of a paper because I want my papers to be better. A because clapper and an example popper. I need to write a draft of my paper because I want my papers to be better. For example, last week I wrote 2 drafts of my paper and I found some things that were mistakes and I didn't know it. Use the because clapper and the example popper in the critical thinking portion. Or have your kids write a letter to the aliens on Zork. Now, the only difference between us and the aliens on Zork is this. They look like us. They know our language, but they don't understand our concepts, and they wear their glasses like this, holding them on with 2 fingers. Write a letter to the aliens on Zork and explain to them the concept. That's a great critical thinking task. Or compare and contrast fiction and nonfiction. So all of those ideas, write a letter about the concept, talk about the concept, use the because clapper, use the example popper, develop their critical thinking skills, because here's the deal. You can't do critical thinking in a vacuum. Quote me on that, will you, Deb Weigel? You cannot do critical thinking in a vacuum. They've got to have something to think critically about. Characters, plot, setting. Compare, contrast. Tell the aliens about characters, plot, and setting in a story that we just read. So now I'm ready to go to the point I was going to make before. State tests. Review, critical thinking, etc. As the state test approaches, you've got your wall. Start covering up the Power Pix with blank sheets of paper. Your kids will have reviewed those Power Pix so often, you can then say, all the blanks in row 1, go. They will have memorized what many of those Power Pix are. And then the kids are taking the test. They'll look up at the wall with their X-ray vision and see behind that blank piece of paper to remind themselves about the concept. Yes, my friends, X-ray vision. Here we go. Let's sum it up. Use Power Pix in class. Show the Pix. Teach the question, answer, and gesture. Expand the concept represented by the Pix. Evaluate student understanding with yes, no way, and QT. Assign critical thinking tasks like compare and contrast. Use the Pix in a sentence frame. Write a letter to the aliens on Zork. Put the Pix on the wall and review frequently. How do you review? Show me the gesture for draft of a paper. Tell your neighbor the question and answer for all the Pix in column C. Tell your neighbor everything you know about the language arts gnarlies. That's how you review. Power Pix, says Biffy B, Power Pix are incredibly easy to learn because they employ all the brain's memory areas. That's right, Biffy B. Thank you, Coach. Bobby, what do you have to add here? Visual cortex, motor cortex, prefrontal cortex, speech and hearing centers. That's what Power Pix activate. Thank you, Bobby Bluebird. And here's Biffy again. Plus that, you never have to ask. Who remembers what we said about apostrophes 3 weeks ago? The whole stinking course is right on your wall. Just wait until your principal sashays in and asks, how you doing on state standards? Oh, the dreaded visit by the administrator. The administrator takes a break from what she's been doing in her office. I'll tell you what she might have been doing. She might have been up in her office counting beans. Bean counting away. She was to take a break from the drudgery of bean counting. She comes down to your classroom. You're not nervous in the slightest. She sashays in and she asks a question, how you doing in the state standards? And you say, I'm doing like that on the state standards and like that on the state standards. Kids, tell your principal all of the questions and answers for all 40 of the language arts. Yes, that's how I'm doing. Yes, my friends, Power Pix, 300 freebies. Let's hit that certification question. What are the strengths and weaknesses of the WBT Power Pix? If significant weaknesses exist, how can the program be improved? How could Power Pix use to increase students' critical thinking skills? I've given you a couple of hints, but my friends, don't just say back to me what I said. Help each other out. Help each other out. Figure out some other critical thinking techniques. And then post your answer on the forum at wholebrainteaching.com under the topic WBT Certification Webcast, WBT Power Pix. I'll put that topic on the forum. You can get 50 certification points and up to 25 more. When you advance to level 5 certification, that's 700 points. In addition to an award certificate, look at that award certificate, my friends. And notice there's a number at the bottom. When you get certified, you're going to achieve a rank that all other teachers throughout history after you will look up to. You're 49. How's that going to look when there's 10,000? That's something to put on your tombstone. I'm WBT certified 49. Yes. In addition, you'll get a letter recommendation from Nancy Stoltenberg. She's online now. Be nice to her. Our WBT Director of Certification. You can put that letter in your professional resume. For more detailed information, I'm going to show you where to go. I'll show you how to get a PDF in 2 seconds. But here's our friend, Ms. Linenthal. Gosh, Power Pix sound great, Coach. But how could I get professional development credit for this broadcast and a copy of these slides? Ms. Linenthal, great question. Go to wholebrainteaching.com. This is program 529. Put $5.29 in the PayPal button. Before long, sometimes within minutes, if you're lucky, you'll get an email with a professional development certificate and a PDF of all of these slides. Here's your certificate. Certificate front, certificate back. And there's the education reform pyramid. At the bottom, all across the bottom, is free. And we move right on up towards learning heaven. So let's look at the website for a second, my friends. Here's the website. First thing I want to call your attention to is, look, you're chatting right here. Let's scroll up. This, you may not realize, is a PDF right on the website that you can scroll through. There's the Whole Brain Teaching Certification PDF, or if you click on it, you'll go to a website where you can download it. Now, where are these incredible Power Pix? Where are they? First, you have to register. All I want is your email address so I can tell you about other new stuff. Don't get nervous. Then you go up to free ebooks. I'm going up to free ebooks. Click on the little red. Click here. Now, the Power Pix are buried like a treasure deep within all of the wonders of these ebooks. That's page 1. I'm clicking on page 2. I'm going down, 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 down into our wondrous treasure. Here's the 3rd grade math Power Pix. 8,290 of them downloaded. 3rd grade language arts, 2nd grade math Power Pix, PDFs, guaranteed to make your life so much easier. And my friends, I've got a minute or two. We had a marvelous broadcast. I love the questions that I saw streaming in. Got any questions for me before Coach B? Let me tell you a little, if you haven't already, take a look here at our calendar. 4 of our conferences are listed here. One in Sacramento I just put up today. Anybody want to come to Sacramento? Ollie, are you coming to Sacramento? Then the 5th annual Whole Brain Teaching Convention, over 470 people registered. And you know what, Athens? Please do not upload and share your Power Pix unless you make them yourself and then upload them on the forum. Jackson, Missouri, Daisy D is not posted yet. Here's 4 of our conference dates right here. Right up here is the PayPal, where you're going to put $5.29. MS Savario, you can put your 250-word paragraph on the website, which I'm going to put a forum note on, or on your blog. But let's break up those 250 words, no more than 7 sentences per paragraph. Let's make it nice and easy to read. Jill, I'll see you at the Midwest Conference, Canton, Ohio. Kate Boski, you're going to be there. Kate Boski, you better come. Kate Boski, I'm talking to you right now. You better come with your presenting shoes on, my friend, because I want to help you do your stuff. You've done outstanding in the short time that you have been driving towards certification. Kate, I want to help you out. I want you to have something to be nervous about, Kate. They're on with glitter. All right, good. Kate, can't wait. And Kate, where else? What other conference are you coming to? Coach B, you use WBT. You figure out what the core concepts are. You make some standards for those. How about denouement? That's a good one, denouement. How about leitmotif? Pick out your fanciest literary concept. How about symbolism? How about archetype? Pick out some of your fancier ones. Make some Power Pix. Help your kids make up the gestures. We discovered the idea of Power Pix teaching philosophy, which is kind of sophisticated, so you can do it for anything. Kate, I'll be happy to see you in York, Pennsylvania as well. It's going to be reading. Any more questions, my friends? We had a lovely broadcast, but let me tell you, now that I have you online, now that I have your attention, very, very, very important announcement. Check it out. Important announcement. Next week, I'm glad you're sitting down because this is going to hurt. Next week, you're going to have to go cold turkey on these broadcasts. I'll be on the road. No Tuesday night broadcast 7 days from now. I think that's about June 4th. But, my friends, listen to me. Don't go crazy on me. Scrap Bunny, go ahead and meet and chat. I think that would be groovy. Scrap, you want to be in charge of that? Kate? Nancy, I know you love these Tuesday night. Nancy, hold an open mic just with chatting, and I'll set up a WBT medallion for open mic chatting. I'll put a note on the forum. You can make some points. You know what? I'm thinking if you came with no webcast, just to chat, and you summarize the points you chatted about, you might make not only the 50-point webcast medallion, you might get the instant bonus of 25 points. Nancy, can I put you in charge of that along with Budsley and Deb? Yes, my friends. Ho, ho, ho. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Deb, please do it. Deb, you're in charge. Nancy, listen to me. Vanessa, good to have you online. You are blessed by having Brainiac as a teacher and vice versa. Listen, here's the deal. 2 weeks from tonight, here's the title of the program. Title of the program 2 weeks from tonight. I'm going to say it 3 times because I have to give it to you the 3rd time after you pass out from the first 2 times. Title: The world's simplest and most powerful writing system. That's what I said. Can I back it up? 2 weeks from tonight, the world's simplest and most powerful writing system. I said I'd tell you 3 times. Come back to consciousness 2 weeks from tonight. I'm going to back it up, baby. The world's simplest. Yes, simplest. But not only simplest. Au contraire, mon frère. Simplest and most powerful writing system. Can you wait? Deb Weigel, you got any idea? Do you see this gleam in my eye, which you've seen many times before, Deb? You've heard me make these outrageous statements. And once in a while, I back it up. Budsley, good guess. It's not the genius ladder, my friends. Au contraire. It's not air writing, Artley. The world's simplest and most powerful writing system is going to take you 2 weeks. So here's the deal. Writing game, no, Daisy D. I don't even think I've published it yet. And Nancy, I know you're coming back in 2 weeks. All right. So here's the deal. Next Tuesday night, same time, the kids get to run the classroom with Deb Weigel as the lead instigator. You know, Deb, we need to give you a title. Maybe lead instigator would be good given your Thunderbirdy personality. All right, my friends. So good to see you again. See you in 2 weeks. I will be checking out, if I can, when the kids are running the classroom next Tuesday night. Oh, my friends, from my heart to your heart, don't we bless each other? Power to the teachers. God bless us all. Coach B, signing off. See you soon.